Suns, former NBA player, one of the great scorers, my guy, Eddie Johnson. Eddie, let's start right here. You've been chirping a lot on Twitter about how fun and how great and how exciting this Phoenix Suns team is. Tell Warrior fans what they're in for tonight against the Phoenix Suns.
Man, I don't know what you all are in for tonight. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the Warriors and obviously what they've done over the years and the success that they've had. And if you see me on Twitter and I'm going back and forth, it's never I'm going at the Warriors. It's just your fan.
What?
Ugh.
What is it?
Hey, it's just you minions. Out there.
Hey, well, Eddie, it's Twitter. That represents like 5% of us. Come
Not
on.
even.
Twitter wants Steve Kerr fired.
I don't live in San Francisco, okay, or Oakland. I can only take the value of what's coming out of here. So you need to get more good people on Twitter, Dan. How about that?
Well, so what's the problem? What are they saying to you? That the Warriors are awesome? Because we're seeing on our end that the Warriors are, in situation critical right now.
Yeah, no, I'm just embellishing a little bit.
I love it.
Funny, but no, I mean, look, it is some struggles going on with you all right now, and we're on the uptick. But look, back in 2014, 15, that was you all.
Yeah.
Right.
That was you all. You on the uptick, and and the great thing about the NBA is that players don't make the NBA. The NBA makes them because you're not around long enough. The NBA's been around a lot of years, and they've had a lot of success here since the 80s. And they're going to continue to have great success because great players are going to continue to develop in the NBA. And you're going to see a team like the Warriors were, during the Splash Brother days, and then obviously when you brought KD over, and that team might right now be the Phoenix Suns. The Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, so that's just the way it is.
Well, Eddie, you bring up the Memphis Grizzlies, they were out there clouding the Warriors on Monday night. They were dancing. Ja Morant's wearing 2 Wattses on the sideline. They're tweeting, they're dancing, they're talking trash. So they believe they have arrived. With that said, the Phoenix Suns sit atop the Western Conference, as you well know, 61-14, and 2 of those losses were at the hands of the Golden State Warriors. The last one coming shorthanded on Christmas Day. So if I ask you, Eddie, who do the Suns fear more in a potential best of 7? Is it Memphis? Is it the Golden State Warriors? Or are they basically competing against themselves saying, look, we were in the finals last year. We don't fear anybody?
It seems like a little trick question that you can throw out there and put on a chalkboard in the Warriors locker room. But I'm a very honest guy. So trust me, I don't bite my tongue on anything. I feel like my mom raised me to be honest and open, and that's how I am. And I don't try to hurt feelings. Look, the way I look at this right now is the Memphis Grizzlies look like a scary team. So I'm going to go into the now. Because, if you listen to Shaq, if the Lakers make the play-in and if they win the AFC, then they're going to probably beat the Phoenix Suns. That's a lot of ifs, okay? So I don't want to listen to Shaq. I'm going to go with my eyes and what I see. And what I see right now is a team in Memphis that's downright scary. It's a group of young guys, sort of like the Suns, hungry. They love to get a taste of what the Warriors have tasted over the years, and they seem to be totally focused, and they're one of the deepest teams in the league. The Warriors aren't going anywhere. We know this. We understand. If Steph comes back and he's healthy, it's going to be an issue. He is the reason why this team has had success. I hated the fact that when KD came, that he didn't get the proper respect that was deserved of him. And I know the Warrior fans here know who the leader is, who's the franchise guy, and they know it's Steph. But, somehow it got off track when KD came here, and that was just not comfortable for me because I have always been on board with Splash Brothers. I think the world of Steph and Clay. And when I look at them play, I mean, that's how I played. I was a guy that ran around the court, came off screen, took shots. I mean, that's the most beautiful part of the game. Yeah. So I was always attracted to how they played. And so, no, I don't think anybody is writing the Warriors off. I think what everybody is looking for is, okay, how healthy is Steph and when he's going to show back up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for you all, because of the struggles, it puts you in a precarious position because now in the first round, you're going to face a pretty damn good team.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's Denver back healthy with Michael Porter Jr., whether it's Minnesota with that triumphant of three guys that can give you 30 any night, Dallas, the way that they're playing. So it puts you in a position.
We want to see Utah, Eddie.
Tougher team.
We want to see Utah, Eddie, in that first round.
Last night. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, I rip on Utah all the time. I just say the best front running team in the organization in the history of sports. I mean, you're up 25 on the Clippers. Paul George hadn't played in a couple of months. He shows up, drop 34 on you, and then they allow a team to come back and beat them going away. Yeah, they struggled. They really struggled this year, and I agree with you. I think if you want a team, that would probably be the one.
Eddie, you know, you've talked a lot, and I agree with you about how you'd have played better in this era, right? I mean, your game would have translated even more so to this era. I'm more curious about off the court, Eddie. Like, because we got Iggy got a podcast, Draymond got a podcast. Some people love it, some people hate it. Would you have had a podcast and been vocal? Because I feel like you would have. I feel like you would have in this era had you played in this era.
Without a doubt, I would have. And, you know, I segue. These guys have an easier way to segue. Like, probably halfway through my career, I decided either, okay, Eddie, do you want to coach or do you want to just do radio and TV? And I started to have kids, and I said, you know what? I want to stay at home for my kids. I just did an interview with the great Isaiah Thomas today. He's a very good friend of mine.
Oh.
And I remember when I first retired and he had the Indiana job, he begged me, Eddie, come join me, man. And I just couldn't because I couldn't leave my kids. And I was in the midst of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. But I was doing TV and radio while I was playing.
Oh.
So I was taking internships with the league. So these guys aren't doing anything that I did not do. They're just at it easier now because they can do a podcast from home. I had to get on a plane and go to New York. So it was a little different, you know, for me. But I developed relationships in doing that. That's why I'm at Sirius XM right now and the NBA Today show every day, 4 to 7 Eastern time, NBA Today. So I'm going to throw that out there so people can check that out. But yeah, I mean, so I would have been totally immersed in it. And I love Draymond. I think Draymond's going to be he's a rising star in the media market without a doubt, but he needs to more so concentrate right now on the basketball part. You know, it's like, you know, you get caught up too much. And so you have to be careful in how aggressive you are in your next job and not disrespect the job that you're in where you're making all your money. And
do you feel like he's towing that fine line, Eddie?
In doing that.
Eddie, do you feel like he's towing that fine line with kind of doing the TV and a podcast while being injured? And, of course, he's been back for 6-7 games here, and he hasn't been effective because of that back injury. Do you feel like he's towing that line of maybe doing a little too much on the side and not focusing much more on basketball? Not to say that Draymond's not focused, but he doesn't look right with that back injury, Eddie.
Yeah, and sometimes people have to tell you. Like, you know, with Draymond, he probably feels like he can do both. And like I said, he's very good. And he's a media star. He truly is. And so, yeah, I'm all on board with, like, putting the guy up here and saying positive things that I think gives me an opportunity to say something negative. And I think he's going overboard. I do. I think you got to, like, when he played basketball, did he, like, go run around with his boys and then go play ball? No, he didn't. Ball was first. That's why he's in the NBA. All his focus was on ball, the game he loved. And then when he had an opportunity and he had time, he would probably go over there and do that. But he never let it compromise the game that he loved, and that's ball.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys do that. A lot of these guys want to be rappers, and they think they want to, like, delve into other things. And I'm like, hold up, dude. The reason you making this money and you have a name is because of that owner that's paying you, and that's your first responsibility. And I think a lot of these guys have so much thrown at them now that they don't know how to balance that. Yeah. And so, yeah, I think you get caught up. And so, yeah, I would say that maybe, you know, as Charles Barkley used to, you know, crack on him every now and then. And it's all a joke. And I think Draymond gets it because we know what he does for a team. But, those triple singles going to add up if he keeps doing that.
Wow. Eddie, you're saying a lot here. I mean, you are saying a lot here. Forget the podcast for just a moment. What about Draymond's emotional discipline in key situations? When they had a loaded squad and they were smacking teams and winning 65 games effortlessly, I was okay with him getting a tech here, a tech there, getting thrown out because their margin of victory was so wide, right? They could lose him and they could still find a way to win. In these close games, it's happened repeatedly where he's gotten a tech, it's totally derailed the momentum, or he's gotten himself run out of a game that they need him in. Like, where's the line? Because we know he needs that competitive fire to play, but, like, at some point, it looks more like shenanigans than competitive fire. Like, how do you draw the line here?
Well, again, it's like, I don't know if you all remember this movie called Juice.
Oh, yeah. Like, you got the juice.
Yeah, you got the juice, right?
We're not that young, Eddie.
I mean, that's one of my favorites.
Warriors were being dominant, right? And they were winning championships, they were setting all-time records, winning 73 games. He had the juice. And officials kind of put up with it. I remember Charles Barkley one time told an official, "I dare you throw me out." He literally said that to him after he had one tech already. And the official just looked at him and walked away. It was a national game, and Charles knew. He knew he can get away with it. But also, Charles had a good relationship with officials, too. So, but he had juice. Draymond had juice back in the day. Like, a number of years ago, he could get away with a lot of stuff. Now he can't. They will toss him. And he's got to understand now he can't talk to officials or he can't go overboard like he used to. And I think he's going to get the message, without a doubt. Because you know why? Because Golden State right now is not the Uno team. Like, it's teams up there now that has challenged that mindset. The Suns, the Grizzlies, Luka, the Mavericks, how they're playing. Milwaukee. Like, Philly, with the combination of Harden and Embiid. Like, Brooklyn. So, you're not like Uno. And so they're not going to. It's not going to be a hit if they kick you out of the game. He's got to understand that, but I don't know if he will. I think it's a part of him, and I love that part of him. I like him. I like him out there going crazy like that. I mean, it brings value to the game. Makes me want to watch.
Right. Eddie, you said he lost juice. How did he lose juice with the officials? Because he is a three-time champ. I think he was in a running for DPOY before he got injured. He was an all-star this season. What makes a player lose juice with the referees? Because they're not number one? Age
and ability on the court. Like, guys aren't as afraid of him as they probably once were. And it comes with age. Like, as you get older, you don't move laterally as quickly as you can. You can't dominate a game in facets like he did back in the day. So it's not, you just start to lose it. Like, when Iguodala runs out there on the floor, a number of years ago, you'd be like, oh, man, this dude's going to shut me down. Now you're like, oh, I can go at him. You feel comfortable like, oh, I can go at him now. So it's that kind of mindset. And I think with officials, it's the same thing. Like in that particular game that he's playing in, that team, Memphis, might be starting to get more respect. Yeah. And the officials aren't going to be as easy going on Draymond. It's weird. It's a weird, like, mindset. Yeah. And maybe, hopefully I'm explaining it.
No,
right,
it makes a lot of sense.
You are.
It's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
And so you have to recognize that as a player. And I'll give you another example. Allen Iverson.
Yes.
Like, Allen Iverson was highly thought of. And Allen Iverson went to Memphis. And he thought he was going to do the same stuff he did in Philadelphia. And Lionel Hollins was like, no, you're not that Allen Iverson anymore. We're not taking it. And Allen Iverson was out of the league. Carmelo struggled with that. But Carmelo obviously opened his ears to some people that told him. And Carmelo did what? Humbled himself. Yeah. And now he's a sixth man, and he has extended his career.
Yeah.
Vince Carter did it. Vince Carter played, he was 2?
Yeah.
So it's a point where you have to recognize that you don't have it anymore. John Morant is here. Devin Booker's here now. You know, and like
Eddie, we're up against it. I don't mean to interrupt you. We're up against it. I want to get in something real funny. Last time you were on, I asked you to golf, and this is how the exchange went down.
Look, you just said something, man, that, look, it's only one thing that can distort me from, like, hanging out with the wife, and she knows it. Let's play some golf.
Let's go.
So let's play some golf.
Let's go.
But I just tell you all to do one more thing.
Huh.
You got to bring a little cash.
The greatest line in the history of this show, the morning roast. Now I want to know, whose cash have you taken? I want names, Eddie. Don't back off. You've been slayering all Warrior fans, Draymond, everybody. You got the ether out today. Whose money have you taken recently? Whose money on the golf course?
That's a good one. I can't divulge that, man, because it's embarrassing to them.
Oh,
like EJ's handicap's down to about a 6 now, 6 to 7.
Oh, well, you're in my range.
Let me tell you something. You know who I want.
Who?
He's got. If he gives me stroke,
Curry.
You know who I want.
Curry.
Without a doubt. I want him and his dad.
Really?
Ooh.
I want to take both down at the same time. As long as they give me my stroke, I got my gin handicap. It's on par. I don't fatigue. I don't lie on the golf course. I don't cheat. I'm not a guy to go in the bushes and all of a sudden my ball appears. I am an honest golfer, but I talk a lot of smack. And if I can get my strokes that I deserve,
I love it.
I feel like I can compete with anybody.
Hey, so what about Trump getting a hole-in-one on a 180-yard par 3 with a 5-iron into the wind? I don't believe him at all. Do you?
Yeah, he probably hit a driver. Got lucky.
EJ, do you take?
Hit a driver.
I love you, Eddie.
He rolled it up to the green. He tried to. And act like he wanted to do it. Yeah.
Do you take PayPal, Eddie? PayPal, Cash App, Venmo? Do you do any of that stuff?
PayPal, Venmo, and in a couple of months, I'm going to throw it out there, I'll take a Combat Golf app. And the Combat Golf app is Eddie Johnson's new app that's coming out. Okay?
I'm going to hit you up on this one.
And I want y'all to stay on touch with that.
Yeah.
But in a couple of months, I have an app that's coming out that you will allow you to keep your score and everything, your financial score, all of that. Yeah.
So, I like that.
Well, hopefully in a couple months, Warriors and Suns are meeting up, possibly in the second round.
Yeah.
With the way things are looking,
and you know
like
what?
Maybe that'll be, and we'll get Shasky on the golf course.
I will take you out to the O Club. I'll take you out to the Olympic Club. We'll go play with the U.S. Open, and I guess Ryder Cup's going to be out there soon. The ladies just had the Women's U.S. Open out there. I'll take you out there. My treat if the Warriors and Suns play each other, all right? On top, swear to God.
Okay, let me tell you something. If the Warriors and the Suns are playing, that means Steph is back. That means Draymond is back to Draymond, and Clay is back to Clay, and that's a scary thought, okay, without a doubt. But I'm going to put my money on my Suns. I think right now, man, we're the best team in basketball. We're the deepest team in the game. And the synergy that we have right now, man, is like how it was in Golden State, when you all were winning. Our synergy is just unbelievable, man, and this team is 45-0 when they're leading after 3 quarters.
Yeah, that's
what?
wild.
What?
They're 45-0 when they're leading after 3 quarters.
That's a stat.
Yeah.
Bonta, you going to use that on TV tonight?
Yeah, we already have it.
I use it all the time. They close out games, man.
Eddie,
I think I see you tweeting about it, Eddie. You're tweeting about it.
We got to go. We're up against it. I'm sorry for being so clunky this morning, but thank you so much for joining us, man. And I mean that. Warriors play the Suns. I will host you. My treat, if you want to be around me even for a minute, out at Olympic Club, all right? For real.
You're going to take me to the most difficult golf course. I got you.
Well, I'll take you to Oceanside. Right. I'll take you to Oceanside. It's a little easier.
No. I want to go to your place.
Yeah, let's go.
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll both get our butts kicked. See you, Eddie. Eddie Johnson, Suns color guy.